management. So, according to Hans Salve, summarized stress reactivity as a three-phase process termed the general adaptation syndrome. Adopting the right attitude can convert a negative stress into a positive one. A relook at stress, reactivity, and strain. If we talk about stress reactivity, and strain, firstly, we talk about a stressor. Stressor refers to any external or internal event, situation, or demand that triggers stress. Stresses can be physical, like noise, illness, emotional, like conflicts, or situational, like deadlines. Stress reactivity. Stress reactivity, this is how an individual reacts to a stressor. It involves both psychological and physiological responses, such as an anxiety, increased heart rate, or tension. People's reactivity to stress varies depending on their resilience, mindset, and coping mechanisms. If we talk about strain is a long term effect of stress on a person's body and mind. Prolonged stress without adequate coping strategies can lead to burnout, chronic illness, or emotional exhaustion. So, these concepts provide a framework for understanding how stress operates and affects individuals over time. So, there are some sources of stress. I would like to explain some sources of stress. Firstly, work-related stressors. Work-related stressors, it's workload, job insecurity, lack of control, work-life balance, and conflicts at work. Workload, excessive responsibilities, or tight deadlines can create pressure. Job insecurity, fear of losing one's job, or uncertainty about career growth can be a significant source of anxiety. Lack of control is like feeling a lack of autonomy or control over one's work can result in frustration. Work life balance. Struggling to maintain a balance between professional and personal life can contribute to stress. Conflicts at work, disagreements with colleagues, supervisors, poor communication in the workplace can lead to stress. Second one is financial stressors. Financial stressors is debt, bills and expenses, unstable income. Managing loans or credit card debt can lead to constant financial pressure. Bills and expenses, meeting monthly expenses like rent, utilities, and unexpected costs can create financial stress. Unstable income, freelancers, or people with fluctuating incomes may feel stressed due to uncertainty in earnings. Personal relationships, family conflicts, disagreements, or misunderstandings with family members can be emotionally draining. Relationship problems, issues with partners, such as communication problems, trust issues, can create ongoing emotional stress. Taking care of children and elderly parents or relatives with health problems can be overwhelming and lead to burnout. Health related stress, chronic illness, dealing with a prolonged illness or a condition can cause physical and emotional stress. Physical injury, recovery from injuries, surgeries, or other physical challenges can be stressful. Mental health and anxiety, depression, or other mental health conditions can contribute to stress. Some environmental stresses like living conditions, climate or weather, commuting like long or uncomfortable commutes. Traffic congestion, unreliable transportation can be stressful. Major life changes, moving, relocating to a new city or country, even for positive reasons, can cause stress due to the disruption of routines. Marriage or divorce. Both marriage and divorce are significant life changes that come with stress. Death of a loved one, the loss of someone close can create a profound sense of grief and stress. Starting a new job or school, new environments, and expectations can lead to an anxiety and stress. Academic stressors, exams and deadlines. Students often experience stress from academic pressures, particularly during exams or when facing project deadlines. Competition. Competing with peers for grades or career opportunities can create stress, especially in highly competitive fields. Technological stressors, digital overload, technological changes, constant notifications, emails, social media interactions can lead to information overload and stress. Keeping up with rapidly evolving technology or learning new tools can cause stress, especially in professional settings. Internal stressors, perfectionism, setting unrealistically high standards for oneself can result in constant dissatisfaction and stress. Negative thinking, self criticism, pessimism, dwelling up failures can lead to mental and emotional stress. And fear or failure. A fear of failing or making mistakes can cause an anxiety, especially when taking on new challenges. Understanding these sources of stress can help in identifying triggers and finding ways to cope effectively. Stress coping strategies for any specific area. So the concepts of stressor, reactivity, and strain are key components in understanding stress and its impact on individuals. How they often studied in psychology, organizational behavior, and health sciences. How they relate. Stressor is an external or internal event, situation, or stimulus that triggers a stress response. Stresses can be physical, psychological, or social. So, stressor can be classified as acute stress, chronic stress, and daily hazards. Acute stress, it's a short-term events, just like a sudden emergency, exam pressure. It's a normal short-term events are from acute stress. Chronic stress, long-term pressures or conditions, just like work overload, chronic illness. Daily hazards, minor everyday irritations, traffic, minor disagreements, etc. So, basically, three kinds of stress: acute stress, chronic stress, and daily hazardous stress. Stress reactivity. If we talk about stress reactivity refers to how an individual responds to stressors. It is the psychological and psychological response that occurs when the stressor is encountered. Stress reactivity can vary from person to person based on individual differences such as genetics, cognitive appraisal, coping mechanisms, personality traits. Genetically, some individuals may have a genetic predisposition that makes them more reactive to stress. Cognitive appraisal, how a person interprets the stressor, just like a threat versus challenges, and influences their reaction. Coping mechanisms, effective coping strategies, problem solving, emotion regulation can reduce stress reactivity. Personality traits like optimism, resilience, or neuroticism can shape stress reactivity. Common physical reactions include increased heart rate, elevated cortisol levels, muscle tension, and psychological responses. Psychological responses just like an anxiety, irritability, or cognitive impairment. Strain. Strain is the outcome of prolonged exposure to stresses when the body is ability to cope with the stress is exceeded. It represents the long-term effects of stress and can manifest in several forms: physical strain, psychological strain, behavioral strain, physical strain like fatigue, headaches, muscle pain, etc. etc. Psychological strain and anxiety, depression, burnout, reduced cognitive functioning, behavioral strain, poor performance at work, increased absenteeism, unhealthy habits, overeating, substance abuse, etc. Interaction between stressor, stress reactivity, and strain. The stressor initiates the stress response. Stress reactivity reflects how the individual responds. So, So that stressor physically, emotionally, and behaviorally. Over time, stress reactivity is prolonged or too intense without adequate recovery, it can lead to strain, which may have detrimental effects on health and well-being. So, a stressor might be an overwhelming workload with tight deadlines, and employees' stress reactivity could include elevated anxiety, faster heart rate, and irritability. If this pressure continues over time without coping mechanisms or relief, the individual may experience strain such as burnout, exhaustion, or even health issues like hypertension. So, effective stress management involves addressing stressors, regulating stress reactivity, and preventing the accumulation of strain by employing adaptive coping strategies and ensuring proper recovery. Stress and time management are crucial skills, especially when dealing with heavy workloads or tight deadlines. Here are some effective strategies for both. So, just like stress management techniques. If we talk about stress management techniques, then it's mm, uh, there are different of techniques of stress management, just like identify stressors, mindfulness and relaxation, exercise, prioritize self-care, break tasks into smaller steps, and talk it out. So identify stresses. Recognize what is causing your stress. It is workload, time pressure, something else. Once you know the source, it's easier to manage. But when you don't know what is the source, it's easier or it's very tough to manage. It's not easier. Mindfulness and relaxation. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, yoga can help manage stress. Even taking a short break to breathe deeply can reduce tension. Exercise, physical activity, even a short walk, releases endorphins, which are natural stress relievers. Prioritize self-care, ensure that you get adequate sleep, nutrition, and relaxation time. Regularly disconnecting from work helps your mind. Break tasks into smaller steps, like large tasks can feel overwhelming. Breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps can reduce stress and create a sense of accomplishment. Talk it out. Speaking with a colleague, friend, professional can help you process feeling and reduce the emotional problem. And positive outlook. Focus on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Cultivating a positive mindset can build resilience. If you focus only on problems, this is a problem, that is a problem, everything you find a problem, then it's never you feel stress free. Focus on solutions, and cultivating a positive mindset can build resilience. So there are some time management techniques, prioritize tasks. Use techniques like the matrix to categorize tasks based on urgency and importance. Focus on high priority first task first. Time blocking. Dedicate specific blocks of time to different activities. Avoid multitasking and focus on one task at a time during each block. If you think that you are a multitasker and everything you do alone and you don't help to anyone, so it's a very time blocking things. So dedicate specific blocks of time to different activities. Avoid multitasking and set smart goals. Smart goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. This keeps you on track and makes it easier to monitor progress. Use tools like a to-do list, calendars, or apps like Trello, Notion, Google Calendar can help you organize and track your time effectively. Limit distractions. Also, decide a limit distractions. Identify common distractions like social media, email notifications, and minimize them during work periods. Tools like mode and devices can help. So delegate. Don't afraid to delegate tasks when possible. This allows you to focus on high priority tasks that need your attention. You can also use Pomodoro technique. Work on 25-minute intervals followed by a short break. This technique helps maintain focus while giving your mind regular rest periods. Review your progress. At the end of each day or week, review what you have accomplished. This not only boosts morale but also helps to adjust for the future. So balancing time management and stress control can significantly improve productivity and overall well-being. Would you like to dive deeper into any of these strategies? And time management is very just like you can also techniques of stress management. You can also use laughter technique and autogenic training. And autogenic training session are sit in the meditative posture and scan the body and think my right arm is heavy, my arms and legs are heavy and warm. Repeat three or more times. My arms and legs are heavy and warm. My arms and legs are heavy and warm. My heartbeat is calm and regular. Repeat three times. My heartbeat is calm and regular. My heartbeat is calm and regular. My forehead is cool. My neck and shoulders are heavy. Repeat three times. My neck and shoulders are heavy. My neck and shoulders are heavy. I am at peace. Repeat three times also. I am at peace. I am at peace. It's an autogenic training. Getting a hobby like swimming, knitting, and singing, dancing, anything you like. It's not necessary that you like or dislike on anything, but make a hobby. Deep breathing, meditation, and yoga, and fractional relaxation. Um, Plus, be kind to your mind. How to cope with stress during COVID-19 pandemic, or during these situations, or during this time? Be kind to your mind. Pause. Breathe. Notice how you feel. Take breaks from and from your work, from your daily routines, and make time to sleep and exercise. Reach out and stay connected. Seek help. Call the helpline if you think that you want help from someone else, and you also don't be hesitate, because it's your responsibility that take care of yourself. So, time management is a process of organizing and planning how to divide your time among specific activities to increase productivity, efficiency, and balance in both professional and personal life. Effective time management allows you to accomplish more in less time, lowers stress, and improves decision making. So, key components of time management, just like prioritization. Prioritizing tasks based on their importance and urgency is essential. The Eisenhower matrix, urgent important matrix, is a popular tool for this. Important and urgent, important but not urgent, not important but urgent, and not important and not urgent. Basically, every work has a different aspects. Some works and some tasks are very urgent, some tasks are very important, and some tasks are important but not urgent. So you think and you do your task according to as in our matrix, just like urgent, important matrix. So important and urgent. Do these tasks immediately. If task is important and also urgent, so do these tasks immediately. Important but not urgent. Schedule these tasks for later. Not important but urgent. Delegate these tasks if possible. And not important and not urgent. Eliminate these tasks or do them later. It's not important. I also talked earlier that versatility in your work. It depends on as in our matrix according to urgent important matrix. So goal setting, establishing short-term and long-term goals. Short-term and long-term goals helps direct your focus and ensures that your daily activities contribute to larger objectives. Smart goals, smart S for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. Can improve goal setting. Goal setting, it's also very important aspects of stress and time management. Planning and scheduling is using tools like calendars, planners, digital apps to organize tasks and set deadlines is crucial. Weekly or daily planning helps keep track of what needs to be accomplished. Breaking down larger projects into smaller, manageable tasks makes them less overwhelming. And time blocking. Time blocking involves scheduling dedicated time slots for specific activities. This method prevents multitasking and helps maintain focus on the task at hand. For example, allocate 2 hours in the morning for deep work and another hours later for checking emails. So you can also time block for this and this work. We can also use Pomodoro technique. This tactic involves working in focus intervals, typically 25 minutes, followed by a short break. It helps maintain concentration and prevents burnout by balancing periods of work and rest. Delegation. Learning to delegate tasks to others is a crucial time management strategy. Delegation allows you to focus on tasks that require your unique skills and frees up time for higher priority activities, eliminating distractions, identifying and reducing distractions. Identifying and reducing distractions, just like phone notifications, unnecessary meetings, social media, can significantly improve productivity. Setting boundaries and creating a focused workspace can help. Time audits. Conducting regular time audits involves tracking how much time you spend on different tasks to identify inefficiencies and make adjustments. This can reveal areas where time is being wasted and help to improve. Flexibility is another important aspect for time management. While planning is important, being adaptable is equally crucial. Unexpected events or changes in priorities may require you to adjust your plans. So, building some buffer time into your schedule can help handle these uncertainties. Stress management. We talk about stress management. Time management is closely related to stress management. Because poor time management can lead to stress due to deadlines, unfinished tasks, building in relaxation, taking breaks, and maintaining work life balance is important to avoid burnout. So, benefits of effective time management: increased productivity by focusing on high priority tasks and eliminating time wasters. You get work done in less time. So, reduced stress. Organizing your time reduces the pressure of meeting deadlines and helps to stay calm under pressure. Improved work life balance. Managing time effectively ensures that you have enough time for personal life, hobbies, and relaxation. Better decision making. With more time and focus, you can make thoughtful, informed decisions rather than rushing through them. So, enhanced focus. Time management helps you maintain concentration and prevents procrastination. Tools for time management, digital apps. Tools like Calendar, Trello, Asana, Todoist help with planning, scheduling, and task management. Physical planners. Many people prefer paper planners or bullet journals to visually organize tasks and track progress. So, time tracking tools like Rescue Time and a Toggle Rescue Time can help monitor how you spend your time and provide insights into areas of improvement. Time management strategies in the workplace. Set clear expectations, communicate deadlines and priorities with colleagues and supervisors. Limit multitasking. Focusing on one task at a time leads to higher quality work. Use meetings wisely. Ensure meetings have clear agendas. Stick to the time limit and only attend those that are necessary. Batch similar tasks, group similar tasks, responding to emails, making phone calls to streamline work. So, effective time management requires deliberate effort and practice, but the rewards include higher productivity, reduced stress, and a more balanced life by prioritizing tasks, setting goals, eliminating distractions, and using helpful tools. You can take control of your time and accomplish more efficiently. The time management matrix. Matrix, also known as another matrix on the urgent important matrix, is a powerful tool for prioritizing tasks based on their urgency and importance. It was popularized by Stephen Covey and is the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and it is based on a principle attributed to U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower. So the matrix helps categorize tasks into four quadrants: enabling individuals to focus on what really matters while minimizing time spent on distractions. The four quadrants of the time management matrix. Uh, Urgent, quadrant one, urgent and important. So do first. Tasks in this quadrant require immediate attention and are critical for achieving goals. These are crises or pressing deadlines that demand immediate action. So tasks that are both time sensitive and crucial often involve dealing with emergencies, solving immediate problems, or completing time critical projects can cause high levels of stress. If too many tasks accumulate here, just like medical emergencies, meeting a tight project deadline, resolving urgent client issues, unplanned events that require quick action. And quadrant two, not urgent but important. So this quadrant contains tasks that are important for long-term success but do not have immediate deadlines. It is the quadrant for planning, strategizing, and personal development. Tasks that contribute to your long-term goals, personal growth, and relationships. Focusing here leads to long-term results, increased productivity, and personal satisfaction, often neglected because these tasks aren't urgent, but investing time here prevents future crises. So, strategic planning and goal setting, building relationships and networking, personal development, and learning, exercising, reading, preventive maintenance, health checkups, long term project planning, etc. etc. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important, delegate. So these tasks are urgent but do not significantly contribute to your goals. They often involve responding to other people's needs or pressures and can be a major source of distractions. So activities that require immediate attention but are not aligned with your priorities, these tasks often feel important but may not provide value to your long-term goals. So ideally we delegated or minimized, just like interruptions like phone calls, emails, meetings, responding to urgent but low priority requests, certain administrative tasks, some social invitations or obligations. And quadrant 4, not urgent and not important. So tasks in this quadrant are neither urgent nor important. These are time wasting activities that provide no real value and should be minimized or eliminated. Activities that do not contribute to your goals, well-being or relationships, they often involve procrastination or distraction and lead to lost productivity. In every field, suppose you are a employee or you are an employer or in any relationship, that do not contribute to our goals, well-being, or relations. They often involve procrastination or distractions and lead to lost productivity. Excessive time spent on social media or video games, mindless browsing of the internet, watching TV shows or movies for long hours without purpose, doing trivial tasks to avoid more important tasks. So, visual representations of the time management restricts quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Quadrant 1, urgent and important. And quadrant 2, not urgent but important. Quadrant 3, urgent but not important. And quadrant 4, not urgent, not important. And it's uh, not urgent, not important. It's a time waste and eliminate. Quadrant 1, do first. Quadrant 2, plan and do. Quadrant 3, delegate. Quadrant 4, eliminate. So, how to use the time management matrix? If we talk about the time management matrix, that identify your task, categorize, focus on quadrant 2 and minimize quadrant 3 and 4, and delegate that how can we use or just like minimize quadrant 3 and review regularly. If we reevaluate your task regularly to ensure you are focusing on the right activities, shift tasks between quadrants as their urgency and importance change. So benefits of using the time management matrix, that increased productivity by focusing on important tasks. You spend more time on activities that align with your long-term goals. So reduced stress, avoiding the constant rush to complete urgent tasks lowers stress levels. Better work-life balance with improved prioritization, and you have more time for personal activities, relationships, and self-care. So, better work life balance with improved prioritization. You have more time for personal activities, relationships, and self care. Prevention of burnout. Spending more time in quadrant 2 allows for better planning and reflection, reducing uh, likelihood of burnout from continuous crisis. So, the time management matrix is a simple yet effective framework for prioritizing tasks, and it's uh, based on their urgency and importance by focusing on high impact activities. And procrastination refers to the act of delaying or postponing tasks, often unnecessarily, despite knowing there may be negative consequences. It's a common behavior where individuals avoid tasks by engaging in more pleasurable or easier activities. Even if they are less important, some causes of procrastination include perfectionism. Fear of not doing something perfectly may lead to delaying the start, and a lack of motivation, low interest, or perceived importance of the task can lead to avoidance. Fear of failure, concern about not succeeding can cause procrastination. Poor time management, inability to plan and prioritize can make tasks seem overwhelming. To overcome procrastination, strategies include breaking tasks into smaller steps. These reduces the feeling of being overwhelmed. Setting specific deadlines, clear timelines can add urgency to a task, and removing distractions, limiting access to distractions like social media helps focus. Using time management techniques, method like the Pomodoro technique, working in focus burst with breaks can improve productivity. So do not find procrastination uh, affecting that specific way to address it in your session. Just like general adaptation syndrome is a three-stage response model that describes how the body reacts to stress, proposed by Hans Selve in 1936. Gas explains the physiological changes that occur when a person is exposed to prolonged stress. The three stages are alarm stage, resistance stage, and exhaustion stage. Alarm stage, what happens? This is the body's initial reaction to a stress, and the fight or flight response is activated, and the body prepares to either confront or flee from the threat. Physiological changes, the release of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol increases heart rate, blood pressure, and energy levels. So breathing quickness and muscles tense up. So goal, the body aims to protect itself by providing the energy and resources needed to handle the immediate stress. Resistance change. What happens if the stressor persists? The body enters the resistance change. It tries to adapt to the stressor and maintain equilibrium. So physiological changes, the body continues to secrete stress hormones, but at lower levels. The initial symptoms of the alarm stage may disappear, and the body tries to function normally despite the stress. Uh, to cope with the prolonged stress, the body uses energy reserves. But if this continues for too long, the resources become depleted. Exhaustion stage. What happens? After prolonged exposure to the stressor, the body's resources are exhausted, and it can no longer maintain normal functioning. physiological changes. The body becomes fatigued, and stress related illness such as weakened immune function, high blood pressure, and mental health issues may arise. So this stage signals that the body needs rest and recovery. Without this, prolonged stress can lead to long-term health problems. So gas explains how stress can impact the body and why it can lead to physical and psychological illness when prolonged. So chronic stress that brings about the exhaustion stage is harmful, leading to conditions like burnout, depression, heart disease, and more stress management techniques like relaxation exercises, physical activity, and proper time management are critical to avoid reaching the exhaustion stage. So, are you looking to explore stress management strategies or dive deeper into how gas apply to specific scenarios? And it depends on you that how can you uh, see the things, just like if you think that it's good, then it's good for you. But if you think about that uh, management techniques like relaxation exercises, physical activities, proper time management, so avoid reaching the exhaustion stage. It depends on you that how can you feel the stress and how can you deal with the stress. It's not just like that uh, just like fractional relaxation or relaxation techniques or be kind to your mind, just like how to cope with stress during pause, take breaks, make time, reach out and seek help. So breathe, notice how you feel, and make time to sleep and exercise, reach out and stick connected, seek help, call the helpline. Suppose if you feel stress that you a stimulus with the potential of triggering the fight or flight responses, and biological and environmental toxins, heat, cold, psychological threat to self-esteem, depression, and financial loss, unemployment, social isolation, and philosophical loss of purpose or goal in life. So one of the most severe stressors is guilt associated with behaving in a way contrary to one's moral framework, like lying, cheating, etc. So it's there are different sources of stress, like external sources, internal sources, sociological stresses, and some environmental stresses. And internal sources like psychological and philosophical stresses. A primary source of stress is the presence of major life events and daily hassles in an individual's life. So it's techniques of stress management, that how can you deal with your stress. So we can also use autogenic training session. Just so I already explained that getting a hobby and meditation, deep breathing, and yoga nidra. Yoga nidra asana is the very good for stress management technique. Relaxation techniques for stress. There are many ways that how can you find the stress and how can you free from the stress. How can you deal with the stress. So through Pomodoro techniques and through many techniques that you can use in stress. So it depends on you that how can you deal with the stress. This refers to any external or internal event, situation, demand that triggers stress. Stresses can be physical, emotional, situational, like deadlines, stress reactivity. This is how an individual reacts. So, to a stressor, it involves both psychological and physiological. It's not only that it's a individual or psychological stress. It involves both psychological and physiological responses, such as in anxiety, increased heart rate, tension, people's reactivity to stress varies depending on their resilience, mindset, and coping mechanisms. So these concepts provide a framework for understanding how stress operates and affects individuals over time. Would you like to expand on any of these uh, points for a deeper exploration? So work related stresses, financial stressors, personal relationships, health related stresses, chronic illness, physical injury, mental health and anxiety, depression, or other mental health conditions can contribute to stress. So environmental stresses, living conditions, overcrowded, noisy, unsanitary living environments can increase stress. And climate or weather, extreme weather conditions such as excessive heat or cold can affect a person's well-being. Commuting long or uncomfortable commutes, traffic congestion, or unreliable transportation can be stressful. Major life changes, moving, marriage, or divorce, death of a loved ones, the loss of someone close can create a profound sense of grief and stress. So, starting a new job or school, new environments, expectations can lead to an anxiety and stress. And academic stresses, exams and deadlines. Students often experience stress from academic pressures, particularly during exams or when facing project deadlines. Competition, competing with peers for grades or career opportunities can create stress, especially in highly competitive fields. Technological stresses, digital overload, constant notifications, emails, social media interactions can lead to information overload and stress. So, technological changes, keeping up with rapidly evolving technology or learning new tools can cause stress, especially in professional settings. So, internal stresses, perfectionism, setting unrealistically high standards for oneself can result in constant dissatisfaction and stress. So, negative thinking, self criticism, pessimism, or dwelling on failures can lead to mental and emotional stress. Fear of failing on making mistakes can cause anxiety, especially when taking on new challenges. Understanding these sources of stress can help in identifying triggers and finding ways to cope effectively. Would you like to explore stress coping strategies for any specific area? The concepts of stressor, stress reactivity, strain are key components in understanding stress and its impact on individuals. They are often studied in psychology, organizational behavior, stress sciences. How can they relate? Stressor is an external or internal. So acute, chronic, and daily hassles stress. So it's depends on you that how can you deal with stress, how can you cope with stress, and as I earlier says that stressor, stress reactivity, and strain. A stressor is a stimulus with the potential of triggering the fight or flight response. Biological environments, toxins, heat, cold, psychological threat to self-esteem, depression, sociological financial loss, unemployment, social isolation, and philosophical loss of purpose or goal in life. And one of the most severe stressors is guilt, associated with behaving in a way contrary to one's moral framework, X line, cheating, etc. etc. So, primary source of stress is the presence of major life events and daily hazards in an individual's life. Increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, less saliva in the mouth causing dryness of mouth, increased serum glucose, changes in brain waves, and increased urination. So, outcome of stress reactivity, long-term stressor, physical tension, headaches, and backaches resulting from excessive muscle tension, psychological fear of being in crowd resulting from contemplating the experience, alcohol abuse and getting into flights, etc., etc. Uh, so, techniques of stress management, we can use laughter techniques, autogenic training session are just like sit in the meditative posture and scan your whole body. Getting a hobby, suppose you are doing any job, but getting a hobby, swimming, dancing, etc., any hobby you can take. Deep breathing through stress, suppose you very stressed, that deep breathing is a good exercise. Yog Nidra Asana. It's also a very good for your health and for your stress relief. Fractional relaxation and be kind to your mind. Firstly, pause and breathe and notice how you feel. Take a pause and breathe and notice how you feel. Take breaks from situations and in your work and in your environment, and take breaks from the work areas. Make time to sleep and exercise. Suppose you are 24 hours busy in a work and etc activities, so make time to sleep and exercise. Reach out and stay connected. You think that you feeling good for sitting alone and loneliness, it's your hobby, so it's not good. Reach out and stay connected with people. Seek help, call the helpline. If you think that it's not sufficient for your life and for you, so seek help and call the helpline. So time management and stress management both are the very important activities. And why do we need time management? To save time, to reduce stress, to increase our work output, to have more control over our job responsibilities, etc. So obstacles to effective time management. There are some obstacles to effective time management. There are unclear objectives, disorganization, inability to say no. These are the obstacles to effective time management. And to many things at once, stress and fatigue, all work and no play. And how to use time effectively. Effective planning, setting goals and objectives, setting deadlines, delegation of responsibilities, prioritizing activities as per their importance, spending the right time on the right activity, and cost your time, making activity logs, goal setting, planning, prioritizing, scheduling, efficiency, delegate, organize, prioritize projects, proactive, focus, and to-do list. It's time management process. Costing your time. Understand the true value by calculating your cost per year. Cost per year is equal to money plus effort plus space plus equipment plus profit you generate. So costing your time. Making activity logs. Make a realistic estimate of time spent during day on activities. Pinpoint the critical areas. Finding the high yielding time of your day. Planning. Draw an action plan. A list of things that need to be done to achieve your goals. So firstly, draw an action plan and a list of things that need to be done to achieve your goals. Goal setting. Setting lifetime goals help to chart your life course and your career path. Break up your lifetime goal in smaller goals and make a daily to-do list. Revise and update your list on daily basis and judge your performance. So prioritizing your task, make a to-do list, consider the value of the task before to-do is it worth spending your time and resources, and prioritize your task. The most important jobs should be completed first, followed by other jobs. So scheduling, make a realistic estimate of how much you can do. Plan to make the best use of the available time. Reserve some contingency time to deal with unexpected jobs and minimize stress by avoiding commitment by yourself and others. So setting, you don't find time for important things to make it. Everything you do is an opportunity cost. Learn to say no, gentle no. I will do it if nobody else steps forward, or I will be your deep fallback, but you have to keep searching. Time management matrix, it's also very important, I earlier say. And general adaptation syndrome, alarm stage, resistance stage, and exhausted stage. The stressor upsets homeostasis or cellular balance. Body fights back by adjusting to the stress. Rest permits enhanced adaptation. So alarm stage, resistance stage, and exhaustion stage. So it's up to you that how can you deal with your stress and how can you cope with stress. Stress and time management techniques both are very important. If you think that stress management, you think only for the stress, that it's not sufficient. Time management is the first step of your remove your stress and cope with the stress. So that's all from my side. If you have any query, then please ask me.